Okay, let's talk about one of the most crucial and honestly one of the most misunderstood steps in your home buying journey, getting pre-approved for a mortgage. This is that key move you make after you've spent hours scrolling through listings online, but right before you actually start viewing homes in person.
So here's a pretty startling question, right? Is that pre-approval letter actually worthless? We hear get pre-approved all the time, but the truth is, a lot of those quick 5-minute online pre-approvals, they barely mean anything at all.
So we're going to break down how a proper, thorough pre-approval makes sure this doesn't happen to you. The whole point is to avoid that absolute heartbreak of finding your dream home, only to realize it's completely out of reach financially. This is all about being able to shop with total, unshakable confidence.
To really get why this is so important, let's kick things off with a story that shows just how much of a disaster a flimsy pre-approval can be.
And this is a true story. Imagine a young couple, first baby on the way, and they find the perfect home. They had one of those instant online pre-approval letters and just assumed they were all set. They made an offer, it got accepted, and then the shock hit. The online lender had never actually pulled their credit, missed one crucial detail, and their financing completely fell apart. I mean, can you imagine the stress with a baby on the way, thinking you found your nest, only to have it ripped away at the last second?
So here's the bottom line. A piece of paper is worthless if no one has actually dug in and reviewed your complete financial file. That incredibly stressful experience is exactly why getting it right before you make an offer isn't just a good idea, it's everything.
Okay, let's move on and clear up the biggest point of confusion in this whole process. We're talking about the huge difference between being pre-qualified and being truly pre-approved. And trust me, they are not the same thing.
This slide really lays it all out perfectly. On the left, you've got pre-qualification. Think of it as a casual estimate. Then on the right, you have pre-approval, which is a verified conditional commitment. One is basically just a conversation. The other is a serious tool for your home search. So, a pre-qualification is really just a ballpark figure. It's often done online in a few minutes, and it relies completely on the numbers you type in, with zero verification. It usually doesn't even involve a credit check. It's fine for a very general idea, but it is absolutely not a commitment from a lender. Now, pre-approval, this is the gold standard for setting your home buying budget. This is where a lender does a full-on, extensive credit and financial background check to give you a definitive picture of exactly what you can buy.
So, what does a real, thorough pre-approval process, the kind that gives you that rock-solid confidence, what does that actually look like?
It's really a pretty clear 3-step process. First, you submit all your detailed financial documents. Second, the lender does a full credit check and an underwriting review. And third, you get an official pre-approval letter that states the exact amount you're approved for. This is what takes you from being a casual browser to a powerfully prepared buyer.
Now, what's really interesting here is the why behind all this paperwork. Lenders aren't just collecting documents for fun, they're piecing together your complete financial story. They need your pay stubs to verify your income right now. They look at your tax returns to see your financial history and stability. And they're going to review your bank statements to understand your spending habits and, crucially, to confirm where your down payment is coming from. It's this deep dive that makes the final number so incredibly reliable.
Look, this isn't something you have to figure out on your own. Your agent at the Bouma Group, we have a whole network of trusted mortgage brokers who do this kind of deep dive analysis all day long. We can connect you with a real professional who will make sure your pre-approval is solid and actually tailored to your goals. So let's talk about why going through this detailed process actually gives you a massive advantage once you start looking at homes. A solid pre-approval gives you 3 huge benefits. Number 1, total budget clarity. You know exactly what you can comfortably afford. Number 2, a focused search. You and your agent don't waste any time looking at homes that are out of reach. And number 3, a significant competitive edge in the market. You know, when a seller sees that you're pre-approved, it instantly tells them you're a serious, credible buyer. I mean, put yourself in their shoes for a second. They don't just want a good offer, they want a sure thing. Your pre-approval tells them your financing is solid and that the deal is way more likely to close without any last-minute drama. So what this all boils down to is this. In a market with competing offers, being pre-approved makes you a much more desirable buyer. It really does put your offer at the top of the pile, because sellers don't just want the highest price, they want the deal that is most certain to actually go through. All right, let's get to the final piece of the puzzle. How to use your pre-approval and, just as important, how to make sure it stays valid while you're looking for a home.
Most pre-approvals, along with the interest rate that comes with them, are valid for a set amount of time, usually up to 120 days. This gives you a really clear and protected window of time to shop for your home. This right here is the financial shield you gain. It's called a rate hold, and it means your lender literally locks in your interest rate. So if market rates start to creep up while you're searching, yours won't. You are completely shielded from that volatility. It's a huge benefit. So once you have that powerful pre-approval letter in your hand, it is absolutely vital that you protect your financial standing. Your approval is conditional, which just means it depends on your situation staying exactly the same.
Your lender is almost certainly going to re-verify everything just before closing. So you need to think of this period as a financial quiet zone. Seriously, don't make any large purchases, like a new car or a bunch of furniture. Don't take on new debt or even open a new credit card. And, if you can help it, try to avoid changing jobs. Any of these moves can send up a major red flag and put your entire mortgage approval in jeopardy.
So remember, this isn't about guesswork or just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. It's about smart preparation, getting professional support, and entering the market with a clear, validated plan.
And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? A proper pre-approval gives you clarity, it gives you confidence, and it gives you a real path forward. So, what's your next step? The very first conversation should be with your agent at the Bouma Group so we can help you get this process started the right way.